In the Cotuit Kettleers season. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. Chris Albright, Brooke Kilgore join me here in the booth. I'm Connor Shue. Kettleers head up to Harwich to face off against the Mariners for the third time this season. Cotuit, facing a two-game losing streak, continued their skid in a 4-2 loss to Wareham back home last night. Chris, that was a tough one despite some really good pitching from the Ket staff.
Well, it started with Rob Evans on the mound for the Kets, and he had a really good start. 4 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, no runs, no walks, struck out 6. And it's been a season where we've seen some starting pitching for Cotuit really heat up as the year has gone on. And Evans was no different, really set the Kets up for success. However, towards the end of the game, that's really when things fell apart for Cotuit. It was aided by a 4 spot in the top of the 7th from Wareham, and those 4 runs were the only runs that the Gatemen scored yesterday, but it proved to be enough as Cotuit was only able to get 2 across the dish, 1 in the 2nd and then 1 in the 8th. Had some chances for more, but just ran themselves into some outs. Weren't able to really capitalize on the base paths, and that's something that we've been seeing from the Kettleers in the past couple of games. So looking to change that around today. Again, Cotuit coming off of that 4-2 loss last night against Wareham. That one was at Lowell Park.
And in that 8th inning you mentioned there where they scored 1 run, Cotuit loaded the bases with no one out, and a couple of ground balls unfortunately ended their fate. Again, with only 1 run scored, and that one ended 4-2. Cotuit coming into this one 11-14-2 as compared to Harwich, who is sitting right in the middle of the East Division 12-11-3. Cotuit will be batting first against pitcher Olin Johnson. Chris, how do the Kets come up to bat?
Leading things off today, it will be Caden Bogenpole. We've seen a lot of different looks from the 1 spot this season for Lauren Hibbs' squad. Bogenpole, the latest Kettleer to get that starting nod. Camden Johnson bats 2nd. Jack Natilli will bat 3rd. He is the designated hitter for Cotuit tonight. Ryan Farber will bat 4th. Luke Matthews 5th. And then from the 6th spot, the speedy Dean West. Bottom third of the lineup card, 7, 8, and 9, it will be Nolan Stevens. Taggart Tyson gets the starting nod today, and Luke Lavin will wrap up the lineup card.
It's cool to see Taggart Tyson getting the nod as a starter today, as most of his appearances have been pinch hitting here and there and coming in as a late replacement. And he's been good, hitting .333, just 2 for 6 on the early parts of his Cape League run here with Cotuit. But he's been clutch late hits for each of his 2. He's gotten on base when necessary for the Kettleers. He's worked 3 walks, and he plays a nice slight utility role, I guess, as a catcher/first baseman, provides some versatility at that spot.
Well, he does great just all around the infield. He's an overall great ball player. We were able to talk with Lauren Hibbs some about it, and he mentioned Tyson's skill just at being an overall baseball player. He came into this season listed as a catcher, but today we'll see him at first base, and he's got the glove, he's got the skill to do it.
He sure does, and the last time the Kettleers saw Harwich, Tyson was not a part of this ball club. Unfortunately, the Kets are down 0-2 in the season series, played one right here at White House Field and played one back home at Lowell Park, and those 2 games were pretty close together at that point in the season. Cotuit was 1-3 coming into the first one, 1-5 going into the second, and frankly, they've gotten blanked in each of them. A 6-0 loss in the first, 5-0 in the second one. So we have seen the Kets get dominated by Harwich pitching, and the Mariners still boast the best earned run average in all of the Cape League. So it's going to be an uphill battle against a tough Mariners squad.
We saw some good pitching when we came out to White House Field the first time, and it was some hot offense off the bat for the Mariners, able to plate all 6 of their runs in the first 2 innings. And Cotuit really unable to chip into anything, never got the chance, and never really threatened on the base paths. That first game in the season series took place well over a month ago. It was June 17th, so officially 1 month and 1 day ago, but a lot has changed since then, and a lot has changed from the second game of the season series, which took place just 3 days later. Cotuit now boasting one of, if not the top offenses in the Cape League, something that didn't even look like a possibility when the Kets first met the Mariners. The Kettleers bats have really awoken. Been a bit cold the past couple of games, but we've seen it, especially as the season has gone on. There's some contact, there's some power, and there is some hard hitting in Cotuit's lineup. And in my opinion, I don't think we're looking at a Cotuit team that will go down and not score a run today. We're looking at a Cotuit team that will be threatening on the base paths, that will be driving in those runs and scoring some.
I'm right there with you, Chris. This Cotuit team has a very different makeup. We've seen them be the best offensive team on Cape in the month of July, despite this recent slight dip in production that we've seen in the last 2 games. Only 2 runs in the last one, and 5 in a couple games ago against YD, but the pitching wasn't quite there that day. But heck, they have been much improved since the early parts of the season. Cotuit only scraped across 11 hits combined in those two games, none for extra bases. But that first game we saw against the Harwich Mariners, it kind of showed us what we'd see later in the season from now a starter, Peyton Manka. He actually came out of the bullpen in that one, pitched 3 scoreless innings, and now we've seen him, I guess you could say, become the ace of this staff.
Well, he is the only Cotuit pitcher to be named to the Cape League All-Star team. That game taking place just a couple of hours from now. Well, we'll say 24 hours from now, tomorrow, that game being held at Red Wilson Field. And Manka got the nod. He's been putting up great numbers. Did have a bit of a hiccup in the game against YD, but going into that matchup, he was boasting a 1.69 ERA, one of the lowest from a starting pitcher on this Cotuit staff, and has really looked comfortable. Wasn't giving up a lot of earned runs or hits. Did well with the strikeouts and command of the zone. So that brief blip against YD doesn't speak to the season he's had, but there's a lot of great arms on this Cotuit pitching staff, which has been one of the best as of recent. I know we keep talking about this recent success, but it's given for the Cats. They've earned it. It's been a great style of baseball, you could say, being played in this month of July, and that includes the pitching.
And to continue this conversation about the Kettleer arms, Max Haug actually was the final pitcher out in that first game, and he pitched a scoreless frame, 2 strikeouts, no base runners, and we saw what he did in his last start for the Kettleers against Bourne. I think it's really exciting to see his development from a back-end reliever who didn't get too much high leverage, I guess, appearances, and is now coming into a starting spot against a really solid offense.
Oh, Haug, for a good majority of the season, was coming into games where the decision was pretty much already set in stone. Then, as of a week or so ago, it was July 12th, he got the call from Lauren Hibbs saying, hey, you're going to be a starting pitcher. And Haug really stepped up to the challenge. In his outing against Bourne, he went 4 innings flat, only gave up 1 hit, walked 1 batter, struck out 5 in that outing. That was his first start of the summer, and it looked like he had been doing it the entirety of this season for Cotuit. He looked comfortable, he looked confident, he was getting ahead in counts, and he wasn't climbing up in the pitch count, you could say. He was keeping it low, so never really threatening to get yanked for the game due to pitch count reasons or just trouble on the base paths. Looking for another good start today.
And soon we'll reach the national anthem here at White House Field. So after a quick break, we'll talk about the starting pitcher for Harwich, Olin Johnson, the defense behind him, and more before the first pitch scheduled for 6:30 here at White House Field. The Kettleers Interns and the very popular T-shirt toss is brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts, proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. generating trust.
Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by Mid-Cape Oral Surgeons, the maxillofacial surgery and dental implant center of South Yarmouth. Doctors Thea Herodis, Meyer, and Sarapak are the Cape's leading experts in oral biopsies, wisdom teeth extractions, and dental implant reconstructive surgery. The Kettleers 50-50 raffle is brought to you by 4 Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference. Get your 50-50 raffle tickets now.
From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot at Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
The Kettleers are sponsored by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 681 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers. Beacon Gardens is a proud sponsor of the Kets, Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville, West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, is your go-to team for Boston's professional athletes and people across New England. So if an injury is slowing you down, Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on Cape Cod. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs. Go Cats!
Need an ice cream fix this summer? Stop by the 4 Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference.
It's a beautiful evening for baseball here in Harwich. Not many clouds in the sky, a lot of blue up there, preparing us for a nice contest out here on the diamond. Cotuit versus Harwich, the third installment of that matchup. Late here in the summer on Cape. Chris Albright, Brooke Kilgore, Connor Shue here with you on the microphone today. First pitch just thrown here at White House Field. Starting pitcher for today, Olin Johnson for the Harwich Mariners from North Carolina. How does the defense look behind him, Chris?
Johnson's battery mate will be Matt Conti behind the dish. The infield from first to third, Kyle Wolf, Sam DiCarlo, Tanner Marsh, and Maddox Maloney, the sure-handed Harwich infielder at the hot corner. Outfield from left to right for the Mariners, D. Kennedy, Nico Brini, and Aiden Robbins.
Olin Johnson, the tall right-hander, on the mound for the Harwich Mariners. He faces off against Caden Bogenpole, Camden Johnson, and Jack Natilli to begin the Kettleers lineup. A different look. We haven't seen Ryan Farber in the cleanup spot, and Jack Natilli hitting third until now.
Oh, Farber, really a utility man, just wherever he's batting. He's a switch hitter, so he can attack any pitcher he sees. And his plate discipline is one of one. He's really got a good eye at the dish. Was called out on strikes last night, a bit of a rarity, but the way that he can adapt to any game situation really just showcases his ability to be put anywhere in the lineup card.
He's been hitting third for the majority of this season for the Kettleers, but it's his debut in the cleanup spot. Jack Natilli moving up to third. He has had a really nice season, especially towards the start of July, where he earned himself Player of the Week recognition. The last full week of play here on Cape, hit over 600 in the week, and he had a stretch of 4 games where he hit 5 homers, 2 of those being grand slams. So he'll look to employ some of that power today against the right-hander Olin Johnson. It's 330 to the left field foul pole, 400 dead center, and about 330 to the right field foul pole as well. Here at White House Field, trees lining the long and short outfield wall, roughly 5 feet tall. Plenty of opportunities for home run robberies at this very nice park here on the east side of Cape. A handful of lights will illuminate this field later on, as it is a late start time. 6:30 first pitch. Well, supposed to be. It's 6:33 right now, as Caden Bogenpole walks up to the left-handed batter's box to face off against the tall right-hander, Olin Johnson from North Carolina. Caden Bogenpole playing his college ball at Missouri State. He's coming back for a 3rd season in 2026. 33 long balls through 2 years there for the center fielder. Johnson into his motion, fires home a high fastball for the first pitch at 6:34 local time here in Harwich, Massachusetts. Johnson, the long-legged right-hander, works third base side of the rubber. He steps, kicks, fires, swing and a miss on the fastball from Johnson. Employs a 91 to 93 mile-an-hour fastball with a couple of breaking pitches. He's been getting better and better at throwing for strikes over his time in Harwich. Here comes his 1-1. It's low, called a strike on the inside half. The umpiring crew today, Jeffrey Merzel at home, Mickey Garcia at first, Mike Rabideau at third. Infield playing back to Caden Bogenpole, who has a lot of power in his left-handed bat. Here comes the 1-2. Down low, just under the zone. It's ball 2. Bogenpole standing 6'6" tall, even with the pitcher Johnson in the left-handed batter's box. He awaits the pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strikeout against his first batter for Olin Johnson.
Well, Johnson doesn't have a lot of punch-outs this season for Harwich. Came into this game 6 1/3 innings pitched. He's only struck out 2 batters, well now 3 with Bogenpole, but has been relying a lot on the contact here in his start, showcasing a lot of that zone punctuation early.
In steps Camden Johnson, the incoming Oklahoma Sooner going into his junior year at school. Johnson working quickly, fires a swing and a miss. Johnson to Johnson. It's 0-1 in the count. Olin Johnson A .568 earned run average this summer in 4 appearances, 6 1/3 innings pitched. A .356 ERA with the Tar Heels this spring. Here it comes, just above the dirt. A ball, count evens. Camden Johnson hitting around .280 this season. Collected a couple multi-hit days in the past week. He's been swinging a good bat. Johnson steps, kicks, fires. High fastball, drew away. It's 2-1. Olin Johnson ticking up on the radar gun. That fastball hit 94. He can bump it up to 95 at some points if he's really rearing back. Here comes the 2-1. It's low. Ball skipped away from the glove of the backstop, Matt Conti. The third baseman, Maddox Maloney, is playing in on the dirt. He's a natural shortstop, but playing over there today. Johnson re-enters the left-handed batter's box in a 3-1 count. Olin Johnson kicks and delivers. That's laced into right field. It gets down in front of the right fielder and skips past him. A base hit. Cam Johnson is screaming around second. He's getting the wave all the way around to third. The throw comes in from Robbins, and it's well late. A one-out triple for Cam Johnson.
Johnson put a good charge on that baseball, sent it on a line out to right field. It took a short hop to the right fielder, Aiden Robbins, who wasn't positioned well for it, and it just skipped past him and kicked to the wall, giving the quick Johnson ample time to get all the way around to third base.
Here comes the first right-handed hitter of the lineup. Jack Natilli batting in the 3-hole for the Kettleers. Had a red-hot start to the month. Enters with an uneven stance. He taps that one sharply to the second baseman. Thrown over by DeCarlo, scores a run. Johnson comes in on the Natilli groundout. It is 1-0 Cotuit with 2 outs here in the first.
Well, Connor, we were talking about it pregame. This isn't a Kettleers team that's going to get shut out by Harwich again, and here we are, not even done with the top of the first inning, and the Kettleers have plated a run against the Mariners.
It is the first scored of the season against the Harwich Mariners. They were down 11-0 in the run differential to Harwich in their first couple of games. Johnson into his motion to Ryan Farber, a first pitch strike down the middle. Going pretty fastball heavy early in his counts. Johnson, he's set at the belt. Farber, the switch hitter in the left-handed batter's box. That pitch was low, just caught the zone. It's 0-2. Came in 84, that was his changeup. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, no one on, 1-0 Cotuit. Here in the top of the first at White House Field. Johnson, the North Carolina righty, checks his wrist, pulls the glove up, kicks, fires. That shot high in the air, tailing towards the left field foul line, and coming in to make the grab is the left fielder, D. Kennedy, to retire the side, but not before Cotuit scored their first run. It's 1-0 Ketts going into the bottom of the first.
The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things in real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 618 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
Boston Hand to Shoulder are a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. Trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
There's a zero chance.
Hasn't been a ton of
1-0 ball game. Kets got the advantage in the top half of the first. We're in the bottom half here. Max Haug in his second start of the summer, facing off against the top three of the Harwich Mariners lineup. Tanner Marsh, D. Kennedy, and Aiden Robbins will step up to bat. In this frame, all right-handed sticks against the righty himself, Haug. Haug, the 6'4" right-hander out of George Washington, rocking the turtleneck in this start. He works first base side of the slab against the right-handed shortstop, Marsh, who plays his college ball at Liberty. The first pitch is hit hard and high out into shallow center. Coming in to make the play is Caden Bogenpole for 1 out. So 1 down for Haug quickly on his first offer.
Kansas State, number 11, D. Kennedy.
Here comes D. Kennedy from Kansas State, a big part of headman Steve Englert's Kansas State ties. One of a couple of Wildcats on the roster. Haug comes set at his chest, kicks, delivers. First pitch strike on the fastball. Typically relies on a wipeout slider for his strikeouts. Will lean on the fastball at times, though, and he skips that one to the backstop. Count evens at 1-1. The batter, D. Kennedy, 18 hits, 4 doubles, 12 ribbies this summer, a .286 batting average in 19 games with Harwich. Here comes the 1-1. That's high and away. Another one to the backstop from Max Haug. And they're going to say that hit Kennedy just got him on, I guess, that inside shoulder. So a 1-out base runner now for Harwich.
And just plunked the back of D. Kennedy. First base runner of the day, and doesn't come in the form of a hit.
Kennedy's aboard with 1 down. Gives way for Aiden Robbins, who's coming off a 3-hit day. He's been tearing the cover off the ball. .321 average this summer. An OPS over 1,000. He watches a ball inside. It popped out of the glove of the catcher, Luke Lavin. It's a 1-0 ball game here in the bottom of the first. Robbins initially playing his college ball at Seton Hall. He's officially transferring over to Texas. Haug deals. Hits the lower half. 1-1. Robbins with a crouch stance in the right-handed batter's box. Was just as good as he is this summer at Seton Hall, as there's a pickoff move over to first, not in time. And you could say better. He hit .422 with a .537 on base percentage and a .652 slug in the Big East. Another throwback, not in time. 6 homers, 19 doubles, 5 triples, and 20 stolen bases. He only got cut once at school. That is one heck of a year. Now he's taking his talents to the Longhorns. Haug readies for the 1-1. Hit sharply on the ground towards the shortstop, thrown down to second, and it gets away, skipping past the first baseman, Taggart Tyson. Going to third is D. Kennedy. He stops, and into second is Aiden Robbins off an infield error.
Yeah, it was just a tough throw from Matthews. Got all the way away from Ryan Farber, and Taggart Tyson playing first base. You're not expecting to back up the throw to second, so it kicked away past him, and it was just chaos on the base paths after that.
The Kettleers had 3 errors last night. They get their first today. There has been some trouble with the infield defense recently, although these guys are typically pretty sure-handed out there. Waiting for the official scoring on that play. I think it'll be an E6, though. First pitch, swinging strike to Maddox Maloney. The typical shortstop out of Oregon. He's playing third base today. He's a great athlete. Can play anywhere in the infield. They say Robbins reached on the fielder's choice. The pitch in there, a strike. Quickly 0-2. Howe getting the fastball up to 93. Haug stares down home. Shadows enveloping the pitcher's mound in the batter's box. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on, lifted, foul over the screen. Stays 0-2. There's one down in the frame. 2 runners on, each in scoring position. D. Kennedy on third, Aiden Robbins on second for the batter Maloney. Here comes the 0-2. Low, that gets away from the catcher, Lavin. Coming home to score is D. Kennedy. And this one's evened up 1-1. Cotuit and Harwich in the bottom of the first.
And it hasn't been anything via the bats of the Mariners. It's been some errors. It's been a wild pitch. It's just been Harwich taking advantage of what's presented to them.
Haug is looking a little more rattled in his second start in a Cotuit uniform. Went 4 scoreless in his first. Here comes the 1-2. That is hit hard towards the bullpen of the Mariners, and thankfully that didn't get anybody. That was shot over there. A hard hit foul ball keeps it a 1-2 count. Haug peering home. The batter, Maloney, hitting right-handed. He's ready. Haug deals, swing and a miss on that slider. 2 down on his first strikeout. Two outs, 2 runners on.
From Wake Forest, number 8, Matt Conti.
Or 1 on at this point. It's a runner on third, Aiden Robbins. D. Kennedy scored on the wild pitch. Matt Conti, the catcher from Rutgers, steps in the right-handed batter's box. The first pitch to him is a ball just at the shins. 5 straight righties to start off this lineup for the Harwich Mariners, wearing their Red Friday uniforms. That's a high fastball, 2-0. They have the camo Cape Cod lettering across the chest and are wearing the typical Harwich cream pants. Haug deals the 2-0. High bouncer towards third, gloved high by Johnson, fires a strike over to first. Side retired. But the score is now 1-1, all tied up here at White House Field going into the top of 2.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
At Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
We're offering 0% for 60 months on CAT's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
All-Star game. Pitcher Christian Rodriguez.
Luke Matthews, Dean
Starting
West,
in
and
the
Nolan
outfield,
Stevens
Trey
come up to bat.
Broussard.
5
when we see our
through
page-
7 in the Kettleers lineup against Olin Johnson. Scores 1-1 here in the top of 2 at beautiful White House Field in Harwich. Johnson allowed 1 run in his first frame, struck out 1. That was the leadoff man, Caden Bogenpole. And then Harwich answered with a run of their own in the bottom half. So Johnson working towards a no decision at this point. Hasn't walked anybody.
The Kettleers, the shortstop from Kent State.
It's a tough middle order. Middle third of the order, though. Luke Matthews hitting over 300 on the season out of Kent State. 11 runs driven in 11 games. Here's the pitch. Check swing just barely went around for strike 1. Johnson, ball in the black glove, set at his belt, brings it up to his chin, and unloads the pitch. It's a low fastball, ball 1. Johnson was efficient in his first frame, only 14 pitches thrown. He works quickly, here comes the 1-1. Big swing and a miss on a changeup that just dove below the bat. Infield playing fairly even. The first baseman, Kyle Wolf, left of the bag, though. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Johnson's second strikeout. Olin Johnson, only a pair of strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings coming into this game. He's got 2 today. Dean West steps in, the left-handed swinging left fielder, after Luke Matthews, the right-handed swinging shortstop, struck out. Dean West was the leadoff man for UCLA this past season, and a great run for them. He watches a ball down low. Went far in the NCAA regionals. It's their first taste of postseason play in a long time, in their first year in the Big Ten. Here comes the 1-0. Another low fastball. That one just got the zone, though. West hitting just under 300 this summer. Has a .450 on-base percentage. Double-digit walks already. Swings and misses at the 1-1. West at school, he walked 20 more times than he struck out. 49 free passes to 29 strikeouts. The 1-2 is tagged foul over the fence. 1-2 count for West, 1 down in the frame. Nobody on base for the Kettleers. It's a 1-1 ball game here in the top of the second. The second baseman, Sam DiCarlo, is playing in the outfield. That's a high tapper that stayed just foul down the first base line. Tossed back in by Kyle Wolf. Count remains 1-2. Dean West, 11 walks in 15 games this season. Has plus contact. Great eye at the plate. He plays a really good left field as well. The 1-2. Swings and taps it foul towards his own dugout on the right side. After West, it'll be Nolan Stevens, the left-handed slugger. The shortstop, Tanner Marsh, is shifted towards the second base bag. Here comes the 1-2 with 1 out. It's low. Count evens 2-2. Lights have been turned on here at White House. We're in for a late one here. Johnson retakes the hill. Ball to his chin, brings it back down, fires. That's hit high and fell, tailing over the left side fence. Couple of wooden grandstands here at the stadium. One on the first base line, one on the third base line. And some more seating room and a nice hill to throw your lawn chair on down the third base side. That 2-2 is in there, called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning for Olin Johnson.
And he's looked comfortable today. The only time really he was tested was Camden Johnson with a line drive out to right field in the first. But other than that, Johnson has done a great job of painting the corners of the zone and generating not just swinging strikeouts, but strikeouts looking now.
He's exhibited great control. Here comes his first pitch to Nolan Stevens. Watches a strike on the lower half. 0-1 count to Stevens, the right fielder going to Oklahoma. He played his last 2 years at Mississippi State. Here's the 0-1, skipped in just in front of Stevens. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, no one on, 1-1 ball game. We're in the top of the second here at White House Field. Not much wind towards the outfield. The American flag over the scoreboard is motionless. 1-2 after a swinging strike. We're feeling the wind down here, though. It's been whipping around a little bit, but overall a really nice day. Low 70s, sunny skies all around. Here's the 1-2. Taken, called strike 3. Olin Johnson strikes out the side to get out of this one. 1-1 ball game going into the bottom of the second here on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Max Haug out there for his second inning of work for the Kets. He'll face off against 6, 7, and 8 in the Harwich order. Nico Brini, Kyle Wolf, and Trey Wells. Brini, the only left-handed stick in the order for the Mariners. Almost the total inverse of the Kettleers batting order, which, save for Ryan Farber, only features 2 right-handed hitters.
Well, there's a lot of lefties on Cotuit's lineup. I think they picked up all the available ones, and teams like Harwich were stuck with a lot of righties. So plenty of righty-righty matchups to start this game. It'll be interesting to see what calls to the bullpen are made.
Here's Nico Brini. He led off the first game the Kettleers played against them right here at White House Field with a triple. He was 3 for 5 in the game, and he scored 2 runs. Haug is ready to face off against the lefty. First pitch, big wave and miss on one in the dirt. It's 0-1. Brini, very wide stance in the left-handed batter's box. Standing 5'7", plays center field for Harwich. Haug, the 0-1. Looping breaking pitch was low. No offer from Brini. Count evens. So Brini all over the lineup card this season. Either towards the bottom or towards the top. Hitting 6th today. Here comes the 1-1. That's just off the plate. Ball 2. Brini to this point over the summer, sporting a 176 batting average. Here comes the 2-1, laced into right center field, gets down a base hit. Bogenpol comes in to play it, and he tosses the ball in, holding Brini to first with a single.
Just the first hit of the ball game for Harwich, who did all their damage in the first via a hit by pitch in an air. Sobrini able to get the Mariners into the hitting department today.
Here comes Kyle Wolf, the right-handed hitting first baseman from Boston College. Finished his junior season there this past spring. He hit .250 with 8 long balls. Runner goes, pitches up, and Lavin lost it, so Brini will slide in uncontested to second with a stolen base. No out base runner on second for Kyle Wolf. It is a 1-1 ball game. All tied up here in the bottom of the second. Haug, a straight up stance, checks second twice, fires, that's chopped foul, straight to the on-deck circle, and Trey Wells, the man on deck, just barehanded that one and tossed it away.
Like it was nothing.
Haug locked into a 1-1 count with Kyle Wolf. The right-hander is ready with the bat waving over his shoulder. Here comes the pitch. That's hit high in the air out to the right side. It tails foul and hits off the light pole and drops straight down. It's 1-2.
I was listening back to an old Cotuit Kettleers game, and one of the broadcasters, I can't remember who, kept track of how many light poles were hit with foul balls. And continuing that tradition, that's the second one we've seen this season.
Only 2. You'd think there'd be a couple more, as that's a swing and a miss. Max Haug, his second strikeout, gets Wolf swinging. One down in the frame with a runner on second. 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the second. In steps Trey Wells, the designated hitter. Into the right-handed batter's box. One of the newer additions to this Harwich team. He debuted yesterday. The pitch hit high into right center field. Coming into play, it is Caden Bogenpold. Brini tagged for a second, came right back to the bag after it was thrown in quickly by the tall center fielder. So 2 down. Max Haug getting back on his horse.
Number 14, Sam DiCarlo.
This takes us to the 9-hole. Sam DiCarlo making his debut for the Mariners. The second baseman swinging it right-handed from Washington. DiCarlo just finished up his junior year with the Huskies. Throw back to second. They almost got Brini, and Farber fell over trying to make the tag. Haug staring down home. DiCarlo waving the bat in front of him. Here comes the pitch. Bullseye. Strike 1. DiCarlo had his best year at the plate with Washington this season. 8 homers, 5 doubles, a triple, 61 hits, and 57 starts. The pitch laced out to right field, punched foul down the right field line. It's 0-2. Has some good bat-to-ball skills. Was a solid second baseman in the Big Ten this year. Not to mention he stole 10 bases. Haug locked in a righty-righty matchup. It's an 0-2 count with 2 down. Runner on second, that's Nico Brini. 1-1 is your score in the bottom of the second. Haug fires home. That's hit high over the fence, but right behind us, and fan tried to make a grab, but just spit out of his grasp. So a long strike 2 keeps us locked in this 0-2 count. DiCarlo digs in the right-handed batter's box. Haug, a check of second. Looks back, fires. That's laced down the left field line. Gets down a base hit. Screaming around third, and coming home is Nico Brini. And into second is Sam DiCarlo with a 2-out RBI double.
That ball was slicing right towards the line, and saw a big puff of white chalk when that baseball landed, and instantly the entire Harwich dugout pointing fair and encouraging Nico Brainy to sprint home.
It just hugged the line into left field, got right past the third baseman, Cam Johnson, and that brought home Nico Brainy. So we're back to the top of the lineup card. Tanner Marsh steps back in the right-handed batter's box. He flew out to center his first time up. So Haug throws home. That's hit high into right field. Not much movement from Nolan Stevens, who ranges to his left to make the grab. Side retired, but another run scores for Harwich, making it a 2-1 ball game. Before we go to break here, we'll go to our sideline reporter, Brooke Kilgore.
Guys, tomorrow marks the day that the Cape Cod Baseball League's best will take the field for the annual All-Star game at YD Red Wilson's Field. After the departure of second baseman Jared Navincula on Wednesday, 3 Cotuit Kettleers still sit in the West Division roster. Starting in the lineup, third baseman Ryan Farber with 31 hits and 15 RBIs as a starter in all 27 games, and catcher Jack Natilli, who exploded last week with 5 home runs and 14 RBI. The Cincy Bearcat is batting .253 in 24 games played. On the mound, left-handed pitcher Peyton Manka represents the bullpen, posting a 1.69 ERA across 16 innings before his selection. Following his last 3 innings against YD, he now holds a 3.79 ERA with 15 strikeouts. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brooke. We'll go to break here for a moment before we come back for the top of the third. Cotuit up to bat, down 2-1.
If you can cruise in it. If you can. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
Tagger Tyson is the first man up here in the top of the third. First pitch from Johnson is smacked foul straight back. 0-1 count to Tyson, playing first base today. Now committed to Kentucky out of Louisville. 2-1 ball game. Harwich up on Cotuit. Here in the top of the third, it's Tyson, Lavin, Bogenpool, 8-9-1 in the Kets order. The 0-1 pitch is socked high and out to right field, out of play. It's 0-2. Tyson, typically a catcher at Louisville and for the Kettleers, but at first base today, readjusting his batting gloves outside of the right-handed batter's box. So I lied earlier. We actually have 3 right-handed sticks in the order for the Kets today. That's rare. Here comes the 0-2. Shot out into right field. That's going to tail foul. Count stays 0-2.
Yeah, definite rarity, and it's helped that a lot of the new bats that have been added to the Kettleers roster are right-handed. Both Tyson and Luke Matthews, who are in the lineup today, mid-season additions.
Here comes the 0-2 once again. Gulfed into left field. A high drive. Chasing it down is Kennedy, and he makes the catch. One down after a long flyout off the bat of Tagger Tyson.
D. Kennedy has a lot of range out in left field. We've seen a couple of times today where he's been able to track down a baseball that would have gotten down in many other circumstances.
Here comes a lefty, Luke Lavin, the backstop from Stanford. Hitting around 280 this summer. First pitch to him is taken outside a ball. Good plate discipline from Lavin. So far this season, in addition to some solid contact, a .258 batting average, a .370 on base percentage, 7 walks to 8 strikeouts. Johnson into his motion. Here comes his 1-0. A low fastball makes it a 2-0 count. Sunlight drawing away from the outfield. Still covering center and right and illuminating the scoreboard out there over right field. Here comes the 2-0. Laced foul off to the left side towards the Harwich dugout. Counts 2-1. Some spotty clouds coming in over the field. Still a nice sky. Here's the 2-1. Just misses the zone. 3 balls, 1 strike in the count to Luke Lavin. He's playing in his 14th game today for the Kettleers. Here comes the 3-1. Shoots it back foul over the fence. Count runs full. He hit .250 this past year with Stanford. No homers, but 7 doubles and 23 runs driven in. That was with Corvallis in the West Coast League this year at Stanford. 3 long balls, 9 RBIs, no doubles for Lavin. The 3-2. That's low, but it just caught the corner. Lavin down on strikes, the 5th punch out of the day for Olin Johnson.
And he's found the part of the strike zone that he likes. 3 straight strikeouts looking now from Olin Johnson, and all have been on the inside corner of the strike zone to these left-handed hitters.
Here comes Caden Bogenpool. Hitting in the leadoff spot. He watches a first pitch strike. Changeup just drops in. Really high on a lot of draft boards for the 2026 class. Here comes the 0-1. Watches a ball down towards home plate. And he's a unique player. Tall center fielder. Hits for power. Draws walks. Here comes the 1-1. 2-1. Inside pitch was on the knees. Plays with a lot of range in center as well. Has some speed despite the big build. Going into his junior year at Missouri State. Here comes the 2-1 from Johnson. Smacks that high and foul, tailing off to the left. Over into some trees. He's an all-Missouri Valley Conference player for his first couple of years, not to mention earning freshman All-American honors a couple of years ago in 2024. Here comes the 2-2. Hits it hard on the ground, a dribbler towards the shortstop who fires it in for out number 3. A nice throw by Tanner Marsh, retired Bogenpool. Another 1-2-3 frame for Olin Johnson keeps it a 2-1 ball game. Harwich up going in to the bottom of the 3rd.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Max Haug enters for his 3rd inning of work. He's allowed a run in each of his first 2, looking to right the ship Here in the third, facing off against 2, 3, and 4 in the Harwich lineup, it's Deke Kennedy, Aiden Robbins, and Maddox Maloney. Kennedy got hit by a pitch his first time up and came around to score. Batting for a Harwich team that's smack dab in the middle of the Eastern standings, 12, 11, and 3 on the season. Cotuit, a much-needed victory coming today, if they get the lead in this one. 2-1 is your score. Mariners up. Haug fires home. That's a strike on the inner half. Cotuit at the bottom of the West Division, but they're only a point behind 3 teams tied for second. Wareham's all alone in first. The 0-1 swing and a miss on the breaking stuff. Haug in his second start this summer began as a bit of a mop-up duty reliever. He looked really good in his first start, 4 scoreless innings. The pitch in there, called strike 3 for Haug, his 3rd K of the game.
The right fielder from Texas.
Haug strikes out his first batter of the frame. Now he faces off against Aiden Robbins, who reached down a fielder's choice. Luke Matthews tried to fire a throw over to second to get a double play off of Robbins' ground ball last time up, but missed him and it tailed towards first base and eventually scored a run. His first pitch dives towards the feet of Robbins, ball 1. Robbins, a transfer going to Texas, swings and misses at that second pitch. It's 1-1. A lot of bat speed on Robbins. Couldn't get it around. It was a little early on the breaking piece. Haug the 1-1. Swung on, hit on the ground. A foul ball off to the left side. Robbins, one of the best players in the Big East this past year, with Seton Hall. Part of the All-Big East first team. Here comes the 1-2. Toom, swing and a miss. Max Haug, back-to-back strikeouts to start the 3rd.
And he's looking comfortable up there, peppering the zone with his pitches. We saw the last pitch, 81-mile-per-hour changeup, a 10-mile-per-hour decrease from his fastball, and he's really looking in command right now.
Now he faces off against the cleanup hitter, Maddox Maloney, who was the first strikeout victim of the game for Harwich. First pitch, swing and a miss. Haug getting whiff after whiff. You said it, Chris. He's getting a lot more comfortable in this 3rd inning. His Kets are down 2-1. Here comes the 0-1. Hit high in the air on the infield. Just foul. Coming to get it is the first baseman, Tyson, who makes the head-high grab for out number 3. First 1-2-3 frame pitched by Max Haug keeps it a 2-1 game. Harwich is up going into the top of the 4th.
Hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Olin Johnson out for his 4th inning of work for the Harwich Mariners. Faces off against 2 through 4 of the Kettleers order. Cam Johnson, Jack Natilli, and Ryan Farber. So Johnson's first base hit initially ruled a triple, then they changed it to a single, now back to a triple. So he comes up with his first 3-bagger of the season in the first. It's his second plate appearance for the Kettleers today.
Wichita State, number 12, Camden
Played ball at Wichita State last year with the Shockers, the old home of skipper Lauren Hibbs. Played there, had various coaching positions with the Shockers. Here comes the first pitch to Johnson. That's a high breaking pitch. It tailed outside for ball 1. And Hibbs actually came back to Wichita State after his long and storied coaching career with Charlotte and was the conference coach of the year. Here comes the 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And he was the interim head coach the year he was coach of the year, and then was away from coaching for a couple of years, and then couldn't leave the game for too long as that strike 1, a high fastball, and came to manage the Cotuit Kettleers. He's been a fun addition. We've had many a good chat with him so far this summer. A well-liked guy. The 2-1. Laced foul over the left field fence and into some trees. Cam Johnson, the third baseman, batting second today. 1 for 1 with a triple. Brings the bat over his shoulder. He's ready for Johnson, who's been shoving the past couple of innings. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a tapper straight back. Johnson is riding 2 straight, 3 up, 3 down frames, and he only saw 4 come up for the Kets in the first where they scored their first run. Johnson did score that run. He re-enters the left-handed batter's box. Johnson, set at his chest, brings the glove down and unloads home. Hard chopper towards the first baseman. It gets past him. A hit for Johnson. He's 2 for 2.
That baseball was smacked right in between DeCarlo at second and Wolf, the first baseman, and it looked like both thought the other would get it. So Wolf broke away from following the baseball to cover first and gave enough room for that ball to skip into the outfield grass.
It scored a single for Johnson. A no-out base runner for the Kets here in the top of 4. 2-1 ball game. Harwich up on Cotuit. Jack Natilli up to bat. The right-handed swinging catcher. Pitch to him. Hit hard on a line towards third. It bounced into his glove. They're trying to turn 2, and they do. Maloney to DeCarlo to Wolf to retire both Johnson and Natilli on a hard-hit ground ball.
It was smacked off the bat of Natilli, a hard grounder that only took a hop or 2 into the glove of Maloney. And we talked to the Harwich broadcasters before the game, and they said Maddox Maloney's the best glove on the team. And anything hit his way, it's just a vacuum. Fundamental sound defense for Maddox.
And it's funny, he's a natural shortstop as the first pitch is thrown a strike on the lower half to Ryan Farber. He's doing just as good of a job over at the hot corner. Hard shift to their lefts for the infield of Harwich for the switch-hitting shortstop Ryan Farber. That pitch hits the zone, 0-2. Farber batting left-handed against the right-handed arm of Olin Johnson. He shakes out his right arm after that pitch. 0-2 count with 2 down after the double play. 2-1 game, Harwich up. Here's the pitch. Sailed outside, popped out of the glove of Matt Conti, the backstop. Farber played his first couple of years at Texas State. One of the better middle infielders in the Sun Belt. Now he's on his way to Auburn. Big step up. laces that one up the middle, gets past a diving DiCarlo at second, a base hit. Farber stays at first with a single.
The shortstop from Kent State, number 6, Luke.
Now it's the Kent State shortstop, Luke Matthews. Him and Farber have been flip-flopping at second and short for the past couple of weeks. So he's batting with a 2-out base runner, Ryan Farber on first. 2-1 ball game. Mariners are up. Matthews waving the black bat over his shoulder, watches a pitch bouncing in. Farber breaks for second. He's in with a slide, and a great grab by Tanner Marsh saved that ball from going to the outfield. The catcher, Matt Conti, threw it well over his left shoulder, but used some go-go gadget arms to go out there and snag that one.
Go gadget arm. I love it.
I think it's pretty representative. So he saved that one. Here comes the 1-0. Just inside on Matthews. It's 2-0. 2-out base runner Ryan Farber sits on second. The second baseman DiCarlo playing close to keep him honest. Johnson not peeking back. The pitch, it's low. 3-0, and Conti liked the spot. It was a fastball that just tailed below the zone. Luke Matthews struck out swinging his first time up. Part of a second inning where Olin Johnson struck out the side. That was more batters he's struck out than he did coming into this game in the full season, as he tosses one leisurely back to second after he disengaged. And it looks like they might be, they're going to call that a balk on Olin Johnson, so Farber gets third. Started his motion home before he disengaged and went to second. So a 2-out base runner on third for Luke Matthews. The pitch. Strike one, bullseye. 3-1 count. Crucial situation for the Kettleers. Could tie the game at 2 here in the top of the fourth. Pitch. Low in the dirt. Ball 4. Matthews works a 2-out walk. This brings up Dean West with runners on the corners.
It's a great opportunity for Cotuit with runners in scoring position, something that the Kets have struggled with throughout this season. They've gotten a lot better as the season has progressed, but the Kets still needing to take advantage when runners are in position to come on home.
We'll see if Dean West can get it done, as there's a mound meeting up there with Olin Johnson. Whole infield out there as well. No one throwing hard yet over there in the Harwich pen. Just tossing a football around just to get the arm warm. Looks like that's Scott Doran, who maybe we could see in the game later. Dean West awaiting next to the left-handed batter's box. The meeting of the minds is over. Everyone back to their positions on the infield. Olin Johnson back out into the hill. 2 down, runners on the corners. In the top of the fourth, it's a 2-1 ball game. Harwich up on Cotuit with Dean West up to bat. The left fielder struck out looking his last time. Hitting .290 this season, will look to bring home Farber at third. Johnson, the first pitch, taking a ball. Johnson shortening up the motion with a runner on first. West re-enters. It's a 1-0 count. 2 down. Runners on the corners. The pitch. Low and inside. That brushed West off the plate. Johnson in a 2-0 count. Control has broken down just a slight bit. Cotuit with runners in scoring position this season has improved as that one's taken on the inner half. A strike by Dean West, but Cotuit, we saw a stretch where they were 11 for 110 with runs in scoring position around the 10-game mark. But at this point, they're hitting .244. That's hit high into right field, a drive deep, but coming into play it is Aiden Robbins on a run, head high, makes the grab for out number 3. Cats leave 2 stranded in the top of the 4th. It stays 2-1. Harwich is up.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
Incredible heroes.
Max Haug is out there for a 4th inning. It's 2-1. Harwich leads in the bottom of the 4th here. Haug will face the middle of the order. Matt Connie, Nico Brini, and Kyle Wolf. Righty, lefty, righty, 5 through 7 in the Mariners order. Connie, the backstop from Rutgers, grounded out to third his first time up. Haug looking to get through 4 in a second straight start. He throws home. That's hit hard into deep center field. Bogenpole going back to the track, makes the grab in right center. 1 down. That ball had to go at least 390.
Well, it's a deep center field here at White House Field. 400 to the big boy part of the ballpark, and Bogenpole has the range to get out there quick.
Made it out there with a couple of steps. He was positioned well. Nico Brini steps in. A single in his first plate appearance. He's been a bit of a Ket killer this year. 3 for 5 with a triple in his first game and a hit today. Showed bunt, brought it back. That pitch was inside. 2-1 is your score. With 1 down, no one on here in the bottom of the 4th. A little more cloud cover than earlier. Still some bright blue skies shining through as that pitch was in on the hands of Brini. Count rises to 2-0. Brini, the lone left-handed stick in the order. He enjoyed a nice year at Wofford. Watches that one a ball. 3-0 count. Hit .304 with 11 doubles and 6 triples. And let's see if I can remember the Wofford mascot. The Terriers? Yes, there we go.
Bingo.
Down the middle, a strike. It's 3-1 to the Terrier, Brini.
I will say, mentioning the clouds, they are cirrus or cirrocumulus clouds. Very high.
The 3-1 low and inside just cut the zone. Brini thought that was ball 4, was about to toss the bat away. But thanks for the weather report, Chris. I know the league does one every day, so I think you could get in on that. Haug throws the 3-2. Hit high in the air out to right center field. Bogenpul coming back to it. Makes the grab chest high. 2 down. Back-to-back F8s in your scorebook. For 2 outs here, it's 2-1. Harwich leads.
The first baseman from Boston College.
Here comes Kyle Wolf,
Kyle
the BC
Wolf.
first baseman. Played in the first game of the season against Cotuit. Hit in the 5-hole and he went 3 for 4. Smacked a double in that one. First pitch to him is low, dropped early. It's a 1-0 count. Wolf down to a .231 average in this campaign. That double was one of 2 extra base hits he's had all season. Hits it high on a line, dropping in shallow center, and Caden Bogenpul slid in feet first and made a spectacular catch, robbing Kyle Wolf of a hit. 3 up, 3 down for Max Hogg. Going into the top of the 5th, it's a 2-1 ball game.
There's a 0 chance that you'll want to miss our 0% for 72 months offer. For a limited time, CAT is offering 0% on the purchase of many new small excavators. That's 0% for better performance, 0% for next generation features.
Great machine. It's quite impressive.
0% for work tools too, but there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left. One source has it all. The pros' go-to rental choice for the newest and most reliable equipment for any job. One source that has a team you can rely on, the people and a name you trust, with the tools you need. One source with a location near you and wherever the work takes you. Milton Rents, the right equipment when and where you need it.
Top of the 5th here at White House Field. It's a 2-1 ball game. Harwich over Cotuit. It's been that way since the bottom of the 2nd when the Mariners scored their last run. Cotuit up to bat against Olin Johnson entering his 5th frame. Nolan Stevens, Taggart Tyson, and Luke Lavin due up 7 through 9, the bottom of Cotuit's order. Stevens struck out looking his first time. He watches a fastball on the upper half, strike 1. Johnson's down in the velo department. That one came in at 88, but he's still pounding the zone. Here comes the 0-1. Just missed the lower half, 1-1. Johnson, 4 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts to this point. Only 1 walk issued. Ran into some trouble last frame. Here comes the 1-1. That's dribbled towards the third baseman, a slow roller, but a quick throw in by Maloney. Got him. 1 down. The pitcher Olin Johnson has been aided by some great infield defense. Maloney helped turn a double play last inning, getting the speedy Camden Johnson at second and coming all the way around to get Jack Natilli at first. And that was on a hard ground ball, but made it look easy. Ket's got 3 base runners in that inning, but could not get a run across. Taggart Tyson batting with 1 out. First pitch, he hits it high and foul behind the screen. It's 0-1. 2-1 is your score. Harwich up. Ket's looking to get their first win against the Mariners this season. They come in with a record of 11-14-2. The pitch. Tapped on the ground, foul. Third base side. Third base coach Kevin Frady barehanded it and tossed it over to the Harwich dugout. 0-2 is your count. Tyson, the catcher first baseman, from Louisville initially. He's staying in state to go to Kentucky, though. Here comes the 0-2. Skied out into shallow center field. Coming out to play it is the shortstop. Making the grab is Marsh as he bumped into his center fielder, Nico Brini. Don't know if there was much communication out there. So, it's out number 2 regardless. 2-1 ball game. Harwich is up in the top of the 5th. So that'll go down as a P6. Luke Lavin steps in now, the 9-hole hitter. 2 down quickly by Johnson. He fires home. Fastball just got the zone. It brushed Lavin back, but it was called a strike. Lavin is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Johnson dealing, fires the 0-1. Hit hard on the ground towards second. It rolls straight into the glove of DeCarlo, who makes the play easily to first. Another clean frame for Olin Johnson. 3 up, 3 down. 2-1 is your score in the top of the 5th. And before we go to the bottom half with Chris Albright taking over on play-by-play, we'll go to our sideline reporter, Brooke, once again.
It should come as no surprise that bats are having trouble finding pitches tonight for both sides. So far this season, Harwich and Cotuit rank in the top 2 in the league for ERA, average against, and whip. The Mariners lead the CCBL with a 3.45 ERA over 232 and 1/3 innings pitched. Harwich Arms have also recorded the lowest whip this season at 1.26 overall. Even with the Mariners ahead, the Kettleers follow close behind and even sit in first in their own category. Cotuit pitchers have posted a 1.30 whip and lead the league with a .226 batting average against, following 235 innings of work. Tonight's matchup between Max Haug and Olin Johnson may not quite be the pitching duel, but all batters are facing the top pitching staffs in the CCBL.
Thank you again, Brooke. We'll go to a quick break here before we come back with Chris Albright taking the keys for the rest of the way. Again, it's a 2-1 ball game. Harwich up going into the bottom of the 5th. Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers Top of the Order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
From Rutgers, number 23,
Bottom of
Trey
5 here at White House Field on a gorgeous Friday night. Sun setting, lights illuminating the playing surface, sun lighting up some trees out in right center field. Max Haug is out for his 5th inning of work. He'll be facing Trey Wells, Sam DeCarlo, and Tanner Marsh. The first pitch swung on and popped up high, tailing foul and out of play over the backstop. Trey Wells, the designated hitter for Harwich, he is 0 for 1 today. He flew out to center field in his first plate appearance. The tall righty ready. Haug set at the belt on the mound. The kick and the 0-1. Swung on, chopped foul down the third baseline. Haug has not needed to use a lot of pitches to get to where he's at right now. Came into this inning only throwing 48 in his first 4 innings of work, and his pitch count was getting lower inning by inning. Count is 0-2 on Trey Wells. Here it is. Swung on, bouncing ball towards Johnson at third, gloves it, throws across the diamond in time to retire Trey Wells on the 6-3 putout. Max Haug has now retired, make it 8 straight batters.
He's done that with the help of an infield that has recovered well after a first inning error. Camden Johnson with a nice play over there at third. It took kind of a weird late hop into his glove, but he collected it calmly and made a strike over to first.
The batter is Sam DeCarlo, another righty in this right-handed heavy Harwich lineup. The first pitch Swung on, soft shot, popped foul towards the Cotuit first base dugout, and it will land over the tall fencing on that side and out of play. Sam DiCarlo was activated yesterday, did not appear in the Mariners game last night, and in his first plate appearance of the summer, ripped an RBI double. That was in the second inning. The count is 0-1 on him with one out. Harwich still leading Cotuit 2-1. The pitch. Swung on and fouled away again. Count 0-2 on DiCarlo. Talked about how Hogg is needing less and less pitches. In the first, he needed 16 pitches. In the second, 14. In the third, 10. And in the fourth, only 9 pitches. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, hit high towards center field. Bogenpol will take a step back, now step in and make the catch up by his shoulder. A quick 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Max Hogg has been retiring batters back-to-back.
And it's been helped out by Caden Bogenpol out in center. He's retired 4 of the last 5 batters, including a really nice catch to end the 4th inning, and he's just patrolling it well out there.
Lineup card flipped. Here's Tanner Marsh, the leadoff man for Harwich today. Hogg set at the chest, takes a pause, now kicks and pitches. Hits a slider low and away, bounces in the left-handed batter's box. A ball, no strikes to Tanner Marsh. Tanner is 0 for 2 today. A pair of flyouts, 1 to center field and 1 to right field. Harwich up 2-1 over Cotuit, home half of the 5th. White House Field illuminated atop the scoreboard in right field. The pitch, swung on, grounded towards second base. Farber gloves it, throws to first in time. It's back to back to back. 1, 2, 3 innings worked by Max Hogg, who is looking comfortable up on the mound when we return. Top of the 6th, Cotuit due up, trailing 2-1.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
At Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
We're offering 0% for 60 months on CAT's new lineup of compact track loaders. That's 0% for machines that have been redesigned from the ground up. 0% for new features and big comfort.
Nice cab, heated seat, great machine.
0% for more power and performance.
Picked up a big 4,000-pound block like it was nothing.
0% for work tools too. But there's a 0% chance this offer will last. So contact Milton Cat before there's 0 time left.
Top of 6 at White House Field in this matchup between the Kettleers and the Mariners. Harwich up 2-1 over Cotuit, and there's a new pitcher in the game for Harwich. Replacing Olin Johnson, who dealt 5 complete innings, it's Scott Duran, 6'4", 220. The right-handed pitcher out of Flourtown, Pennsylvania, plays his college ball for the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. Only has 2 appearances so far this season, both of them in relief. Thrown a total of 4 1/3 innings, 2 hits allowed, 3 runs, all of those earned. He's walked 5 batters and struck out 4. Boasts a 6.23 ERA. The Chanticleers competing in the NCAA championship for college baseball just last month, where they dropped the series to the Louisiana State University Tigers in a matchup between one of the best SEC teams and one of the best mid-major teams in the country. Duran wraps up his warm-up pitches. He'll be facing the top third of this Cotuit lineup card: Caden Bogenpol, Camden Johnson, and Jack Natilli. Bogenpol is still looking for his first hit of the evening, 0 for 2. a strikeout and a groundout. The first offering from Duran, a fastball strike at 89 miles per hour.
So you got to watch out for the curveball with Duran. We'll get a little in the weeds on the analytics here, but his curveball coming into this year had a negative 19.1 inches of induced vertical break.
The 0-1, just a bit upstairs. Count evens at 1 apiece.
In simple terms, that means it drops very far.
Thank you for dumbing it down for me, Connor. Count is 1-1 on Bogeypole. Duran up on the mound working from the first base side of the rubber. Set at the belt. Here's the 1-1. Called a strike on the inside half of the zone. Count now 1-2 on Caden Bogeypole. On the season, Bogey hovering around the 200 mark. Came into this game hitting .208. 10 hits and 48 at-bats. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Bogeypole. Swung on and fouled out of play. Over the grandstands on the third base side. Count will remain 1-2. Duran, with a high leg kick when he starts his warm-up, gets his arm around quick. His black glove set at his belt. Lengthy pause. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball upstairs. Count will even it at 2 apiece. Being a reliever, you're used to seeing those guys work from the stretch consistently. No different with Duran, with no runners on, still working from the stretch. Here's the 2-2. Curveball swung on and chopped foul. Saw it there, starts high in the zone and dropped to Bogeypole's knees, able to catch a piece of it. Harwich up 2-1 over Cotuit, top of the 6th here at White House Field in this East-West divisional matchup. Bogeypole regroups, steps back into the left-handed batter's box. Loaded in the back of the box, slight crouch in his stance. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, broken bat sailing high past the infield. That ball is grounded foul. The bat snapped right at the handle. Bogeypole holding on to a piece that can't be any more than about 8 inches. The rest of the bat sailed past the infield into shallow right field. On a baseball that was grounded foul, didn't even have a lot of speed.
When we've seen guys lose the bat or break their bat a couple of times this summer, but never like that where it's quite literally just the bottom of the handle left, and he's got to find a new piece of lumber, but that's what happens when you have the bat speed of Caden Bogeypole.
He can get it around quick with a lot of power. 6'6", 240. And he put all of his body into that swing, as evident with the splintered wood. Count is 2-2 on Bogeypole. The pitch. Swung on, bouncing ball right side. Fielded by the second baseman, DiCarlo, ranging to his left and will make the toss to first in time. A lot of range from DiCarlo at second base. Able to utilize his speed to get that ground ball. Bogeypole retired on the 4-3 putout. First out recorded from Scott Duran in his relief appearance. Harwich with a 1-run lead over Cotuit here in the top of the 6th. The batter's Camden Johnson. The first pitch to him, a breaking ball strike. That curveball continuing to do damage for Scott Duran. 77 miles per hour on it. No balls and a strike with 1 out. The count to Camden Johnson. The lefty is 2 for 2 today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. On a pitch low in the zone. Count now 0-2. Johnson able to leg out a triple in his first plate appearance and then singled into shallow right field his second. He can utilize his wheels. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Camden Johnson with 1 out. Swung on, chopper towards shortstop, coming into play at Marsh. Throws to first, not in time. Camden Johnson with blazing speed down the first base line He's able to leg out infield singles like none other. Continuing his hot day at the plate, he's now 3 for 3.
You just can't catch him. Nobody seems to have the speed that Camden Johnson possesses on this Kets roster. Heck, even league-wide. He has a knack of legging out those infield singles almost once every couple of games. We saw him do it the other day against Wareham, and he just does it again here.
Jack Natilli, the designated hitter for Cotuit, in the batter's box. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Johnson goes, and he's safe, uncontested. No throw down to second base from the catcher, Matt Conti. Johnson with now his team-leading 12th stolen base of the season. He and former Kettleer Jaron Vincula were tied at 11. Now Camden Johnson stands alone. He's got a large lead at second, about 5 strides. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Natilli. Upstairs, and it's off the glove of Conti. Johnson will head to third, take a wide turn, and stop there. There is plenty of foul ground here at White House Field behind home plate. When that ball kicks to the backstop, I'd say it's a good 10-15 yards behind home plate, which gives ample time for runners to take an extra base. Camden Johnson's now at third. The tying run in this ball game. Harwich up 2-1 over Cotuit here in the top of the 6th. Sunlight fading fast. Still some blue skies. Clouds now illuminated with hues of orange. The 1-1 with 1 out. Swung on high chopper towards third, and now Johnson's caught in a pickle between third and home. He'll be tagged out by the catcher Maddox Maloney, who chased him down from third base to make that play. Jack Natilli reaches safely, but Maddox Maloney, with great baseball IQ, saw that off the bounce, Camden Johnson got a large lead at third and then caught him in between bases.
And you're right, he had nowhere to really go, and you don't expect a ball straight to third base that hard off the bat in a situation like that. So you're thinking, okay, get a ball on the ground, you're going to go home, and he took that lead, and unfortunately for him, it didn't quite pay off. Maloney had him dead to rights.
Ryan Farber, the 4-spot hitter, swings at the first pitch he sees and golfs it foul. Farber is 1 for 2 today. Flew out in the first inning. He singled in his second plate appearance in the 4th. Jack Natilli's on first base. Other stations unoccupied. Harwich maintains their 2-1 lead over Cotuit. The 0-1 pitch to Ryan Farber. Upstairs, 86 miles per hour from Scott Duran. A lot quicker in his motion and delivery with runners on base. A condensed stretch and a quick pitch. He's set at the belt. Count 1-1 to Farber. The pitch. Low in the zone, and it skips past Conti. Natilli breaks for second, and the throw down will be late and skips into center field. Sam DiCarlo playing good backup prevents Natilli from taking another base. But that's twice in this inning that a ball has gotten away from Matt Conti, allowing a Cotuit base runner to advance. Natilli now in scoring position. He would be the tying run. Cotuit trailing Harwich 2-1. Farber, slight crouch in his stance, hitting as a lefty. The 1-1 bounces into the chest protector of Conti. He pounces on it. Natilli stays put at second. Count is now 2 balls and a strike on Ryan Farber here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Luke Matthews on deck. He is an RBI machine for the Kettleers. Count 3-1 on Farber. Duran checks the runner. The pitch. Swung in and popped up foul over the dugout. Occupied by Harwich on the third base side. Count now will run full. The dugouts at White House Field significantly deeper along the lines than other ballparks. Nearly even with the third and first base bag. Plenty of real estate in the foul ground behind and around home plate. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Scott Duran, a runner on second. Swing and a miss from Farber. Chased some high heat. Cotuit strands a runner in scoring position. They still trail Harwich 2-1 on the Kettleers Digital Network.
The Kettleers interns in the very popular t-shirt toss is brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Hi, Connor Shue here. Beacon Gardens is Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville and West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
You'll be ready to power up when the power goes out with generator maintenance and service from RCA Electric in Mashpee. From preventative maintenance plans to 24/7 emergency service, trust RCA to keep your generator humming. Call us or visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. Generating trust. Home half of the sixth here in Harwich, Massachusetts, just off the campus of Monomoy High School. At White House Field, there's a new arm out on the mound for the Kettleers, Tyler Albanese, who saw some time as the closer for Cotuit early on in this season, and since then he's transitioned more into a middle reliever role, especially as of recent.
Last time he pitched was in a game where Bo Sampson went 5 spectacular innings, and they brought Albanese out there for the 6th, and he scraped together 4 really solid innings, only allowed his lone run in that final frame where it seemed like he was really starting to run out of gas, because that's his first time he's really ever thrown that long at the college level. So, of course, you're going to lose gas there, but I guess it makes you wonder, are they going to try to bring him out for 4 again today?
Well, in that game that Albanese came in for the lengthy relief appearance, Cotuit only needed to utilize 2 pitchers in that game, saving a lot of arms. Now, it's important to note that the All-Star game is tomorrow, which will mean 2 days of rest for players not playing in it. Albanese stares down D. Kennedy. It will be 2, 3, and 4 due up for Harwich this inning. Albanese's first pitch swung on and fouled towards the Harwich dugout. It will be Kennedy, Robbins, and Maloney due up for the Mariners, who are holding on to a 2-1 lead over Cotuit. All runs in this game scored in the first 2 frames. Here's the 0-1 from Albanese. Breaking ball, a strike, middle cut in the zone. 74 miles per hour from Big Al. He's 6'6", 237, out of San Jose State, the Spartans of the Mountain West. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Albanese on the season has seen 8 appearances, this being his 9th. All of them in relief. He's notched 3 saves in 15 innings flat of work. The 1-2. And they're called strike 3. Tyler Albanese with a strikeout looking to record his first out in this ball game. D. Kennedy now 2 strikeouts on the day. He is 0 for 2. Aiden Robbins now up. He struck out in his last plate appearance. Robbins, a right-handed hitter, plays his college ball at now Texas. The first pitch to him, fastball upstairs. Count the pitch. Fastball high and tight. Count now 2-0. Albanese, when he gets set on the mound, has a very close body in relation to the hitter. The numbers on his back showing to a left-handed hitter. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swung on, ripped in the air towards right center field and down. One hopping into the glove of Nolan Stevens, who will get it in quick to keep Aiden Robbins at first base. A hard single for the righty Outgoing Seton Hall Pirate, ingoing Texas Longhorn. That will bring up Maddox Maloney, who had an incredible season for the University of Oregon. Seemed like he was the home run king up in the Pacific Northwest. Hasn't seen that same power here on Cape, but he makes up for it with his glove. Harwich up 2-1 over the Kets here in the bottom of the 6th. The first pitch swung on by Maloney. A high 2-bouncer to Johnson, who fires to second for 1, and Farber will eat it, content with just getting the lead runner. Maloney safe at first, but Robbins retired at second base. Now 2 away. The batter will be the catcher, Matt Conti. Max Hogg, who started in today's game, able to work 5 complete innings, only gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run. The other run surrendered unearned, walked none, and struck out 4. The first pitch to Conti from Albanese. Just a bit inside, at the knees of Matt Conti, who is 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a fly out. Maloney on first, being kept honest by Taggart Tyson. And a back pick to first. They've got him hung up. The throw will go down to second. Tag applied to Maloney. He's out. A great pickoff move from Big Al to catch Maloney in no man's land. It's an unorthodox 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Cotuit still trailing 2-1.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generatic automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
Hi, Connor Shue here. Wake up to Cape Cod's finest coffee. Cape Cod coffee roasts fresh daily, using only the finest beans. With a wide variety of options from light to dark, flavored to decaf, there's something for everyone. Visit locally in Mashpee Commons and off Route 130 in Mashpee, or venture over the bridge to Wareham Crossing, where each location offers a full bar and menu. Proudly sponsoring the Cotuit Kettleers, Cape Cod Coffee is passionate about our brews and our community.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers. They're the go-to team for Boston's professional athletes and people across New England. So if an injury is slowing you down, Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on Cape Cod. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
Top of the 7th at White House Field, the Kettleers trail the Mariners 2-1. But the Kets lead in the hitting department. Kets have 4 hits on the day. Harwich only has 3. So Cotuit hoping to piece together some hitting and then drive that hitting home. It will be Luke Matthews, Dean West, and Nolan Stevens due up. Scott Duran still the pitcher for the Mariners. His first offering low and away to Luke Matthews, one of 3 true right-handed hitters in this Cotuit lineup card. Otherwise, it's been a clean game from Scott Duran and the man he relieved, Olin Johnson. Pinch hitting for Dean West is Easton Winfield. Winfield has been one of the go-to names out of the dugout in terms of pinch hitting opportunities. Cotuit skipper Lauren Hibbs takes a step out of the first base dugout and gives a set of signs to both Easton Winfield and Luke Matthews, who is on first base with a 2-stride lead. The first pitch, Matthews thought about going. He stays put. The pitch is high. Ball 1 to Easton Winfield. Winfield on the season, he's hitting .250, has 12 hits and 48 at-bats. A double and a triple mixed in there. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to the lefty. Matthews goes, the pitch is high. Throw down to second, sails high. A great glove from Tanner Marsh keeps it in the infield, but Luke Matthews is safe with a successful stolen base. Matthews in scoring position. Cotuit trailing Harwich 2-1. Desperately need to get a run back. The Kets haven't scored since the top of the first inning. 2-0 pitch to Winfield is high and upstairs. Count now 3-0. Scott Duran, who came in to relieve Olin Johnson, worked around some trouble in the 6th inning. Surrendered a hit, but Camden Johnson was tagged out between third and home. The 3-0 pitch, a strike. Count now 3-1. Outside of that momentary fiasco where Johnson was on third, Duran did a good job of working around it, ended the inning with a strikeout. Looking for some more strikes here in the 7th. The 3-1. Up and in to Winfield. He works a walk. Back-to-back walks thrown by Scott Duran. One a 4-pitch walk, one a 5-pitch walk. There will be a meeting on the mound. It's the entire infield and Duran's battery mate, Matt Conti. No coaches from the Harwich staff. It's just a players' meeting. A little bit of a morale booster as they all stand up on the bump, kind of looking towards the dugout.
Not to mention, we're going to get back-to-back pinch hitters. Zan Von Schlegel out there for Nolan Stevens in the 7-hole now.
The meeting breaks on the mound, unsupervised by any Harwich coach. So the infield and the battery making sure everyone is on the same page. Zan Von Schlegel pinch hitting for Nolan Stevens. Von Schlegel pinch hit last night for the Kettleers in their loss against Wareham. And he picked up his first hit as a Kettleer. Looking to make it 2 for 2 here tonight. Duran checks the runner at second. The pitch, low and away. Kettleers have runners on first and second. No outs in the top of the 7th. Cotuit trailing Harwich 2-1. Von Schlegel with a deep crouch. The righty awaits the pitch from Duran. Here it comes. Outside, count now 2-0. Duran has now thrown 11 pitches in the 7th inning. 10 of them have been balls. Von Schlegel taps home plate with his bat, now resting on his back shoulder. Here's the 2-0. Inside, at the belt of Von Schlegel. Zan playing his college ball at the University of Minnesota St. Thomas. The Tommies, who have been making a name for themselves since making the jump to D1. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Von Schlegel. Get me over, strike. A middle cut fastball. Count now 3-1. Kets have 2 aboard, no one out. Matthews is on second. Easton Winfield is on first. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and swatted directly towards third base. Gloved by Maloney, who goes to second for 2, and the relay to first in time. It's a 5-4-3 triple play turned by the Harwich infield. Drawn up perfectly. A hot shot down the third baseline. All Maloney had to do was step on third and then went around the horn for a triple play. That threat from Cotuit squashed instantly. Stretch time here at White House Field will go to the bottom of the 7th. Kets still trailing Harwich 2-1.
Wake up to Cape Cod's finest coffee. Cape Cod coffee roasts fresh daily using only the finest beans. With a wide variety of options from light to dark, flavored to decaf, there's something for everyone. Visit locally in Mashpee Commons and off Route 130 in Mashpee, or venture over the bridge to Wareham Crossing, where each location offers a full bar and menu. Proudly sponsoring the Cotuit Kettleers, Cape Cod Coffee is passionate about our brews and our community.
Beacon Gardens is Osterville's premier garden center.
You'll find everything you need to beautify your home at Beacon Gardens, where quality products and excellent customer service make them Osterville's premier garden center. Visit Beacon Gardens on Osterville, West Barnstable Road.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, brings you to the Kettleers top of the order. They're the go-to team for Boston's professional athletes and people across New England. So if an injury is slowing you down, Boston Hand
Put it on things you don't see every day. A 5-4-3 triple play in the top of the 7th. Scott Duran has to give a tip of his cap to Maddox Maloney, Sam DiCarlo, and Kyle Wolf, who executed that triple play with brilliance. Tailor-made. It's exactly how you write it up in that situation.
You don't see infield defense played that well every day. Those guys have been on it on every ground ball, and that time they executed the triple play to perfection. It's the first one we've seen all summer.
The catcher, Matt Conti, will lead things off for Harwich this inning. He appeared up to bat last inning, but when Maddox Maloney was caught in a pickoff move, it negated his at-bat, and now it's carried over to this inning. The first pitch from Albany is a breaking ball, stays upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes with no one out to Matt Conti.
And when things like that happen, it puts a lot more pressure on your pitching staff. Albanese is going to have to probably go a little bit longer.
The pitch. Breaking ball strike caught the outside part of the zone. Count now even at 1-1.
And they've got to be thankful Max Haug had such a good start as well. He's been rolling. Last 9 innings pitched, he's only allowed 1 earned. Struck out 9 on only 3 hits.
The 1-1. Fastball upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Max Haug has not allowed a walk in those 9 innings. He's been all around the zone with ease. Check that. He's had 1 walk. That was in his first outing against Bourne, where he only allowed 2 base runners, 1 hit and 1 walk. Albanese re-engages up on the slab. Bluish glove set at his belt. The tall righty kicks and deals the 2-1. A breaking ball strike. Inside half of the plate. Count now even at 2-2. Harwich up 2-1 over Cotuit here in the home half of the 7th inning. Albanese has his sign. Now ready. The 2-2 offering. Swung on him, popped up high, tailing foul and out of play. Cotuit had some momentum in the top of this frame. 2 aboard with no out, and it looked like the Kets were about to draw even with Harwich, but that triple play seemingly carried a whole swing of momentum over to this Harwich crowd and team. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on a line in between second and third, and it will trickle into left field. Stopping at first is Conti. The throw will go to second. A leadoff single for Matt Conti, who is now 1 for 3 today. Harwich has not been hitting a lot this evening. Just the 4th hit of the day for the Mariners, who have evened up with Cotuit's 4 hits on the day. Harwich 2, Cotuit 1. A runner on first with no one out here in the bottom of the 7th. The batter is the left-handed hitting Nico Brini, who is 1 for 2 today. He singled and came around to score in the 2nd. First pitch is swung on, bouncing ball to second. Farber tosses to second for 1, relay to first in time. 4-6-3 on the double play. Takes care of the base runner, Matt Conti.
When we talk about strong infield defense, we actually saw these guys working on it on their own outside of practice earlier today at the field well before the bus left for the game. So really speaks a lot to the effort of these infielders and how much they're practicing their craft.
The batter will be Kyle Wolf, the right-handed hitting 7-spot hitter who is 0 for 2 today. Kets infield playing deep. The first pitch. Breaking ball low and away. A ball and no strikes to Kyle Wolf. Outfield straight away, if anything, a half step to their rights. Here's the 1 o'clock, now at 12 before he digs in. Albany's instantly set at the belt. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on, fly ball towards shallow center field. Bogenpole breaking in, has it measured, and makes the catch. We'll take a quick hit from the third member of our team, Brooke Kilgore. Brooke.
Thanks, Chris. That triple play that we witnessed in the top of the 7th inning, according to league historian Mike Richard, is the first of this season. Still to be confirmed on that one. The last one that happened last season, turned by Brewster against Falmouth. This would be the 9th triple play in league history to his knowledge. He says that there's a chance that this is the first one in Harwich's history. He's still looking through the record books to see how that one is going. But guys, a lot of history being made just off of one triple play.
Harwich still up 2-1 over Cotuit. We'll head to the top of the 8th here at White House Field.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers top of the order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
Top of the 8th inning, Cotuit trailing Harwich 2-1. The Kettleers trying to bounce back after a triple play turned on the Kets the last inning. And it seemingly just sucked the life out of Cotuit at that moment. Harwich looking to continue to use that momentum, but it's a close game. Just one swing of the bat can change things. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Mariners, Cohen Feaser, the 6'2", 200 right-handed pitcher out of San Antonio, Texas. Just wrapped up his year at Texas Christian University, entered the transfer portal, and has now ended up at Kansas State University. In just one appearance this season, he went an inning and 2/3 of relief, allowed no hits, no runs, walked 2, and struck out 4. Has the strikeout stuff. Of the 5 outs he recorded, 4 were via the punch-out. He'll be facing 8-9-1 in the Kettleers lineup card. Taggart Tyson, Luke Lavin, and Caden Bogenpole, barring any more pinch hitters for the Kets, who utilized 2 in the last frame. Feaser, glove up, covering his face, takes a breath and will kick and deal his first pitch. A first pitch strike at the belt of the batter Taggart Tyson, who is 0 for 2 today. Flew out to left field. A great ranging play from D. Kennedy. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs. 90 miles per hour. Count evens at 1 apiece. Harwich up 2-1 here in the top of the 8th. The 1-1. Swung on, fouled back to the screen, and the bat goes flying out of the hands of Taggart Tyson to the fencing in front of the third base grandstands, landing right below some buntings hung on the chain link fence. He'll get some grip on his white batting gloves, rubs them on the handle of his bat. Count will be 1-2 on Taggart Tyson. A very recent addition to this Kettleers roster, where he just wrapped up his year at the University of Louisville. Just his 5th game for the Kets. The 1-2 pitch, upstairs. Count evens at 2 apiece. Outfield straight away. Infield playing deep. The third baseman Maloney about 10 or so feet off the third base line. The 2-2. Swung on and popped up high. This won't leave the infield. Marsh and DiCarlo converge, calling for it is the second baseman, DiCarlo, who makes the catch a couple of steps behind the second base bag. Taggart Tyson retired on an infield flyout. The batter will now be a pinch hitter, Case Sanderson, who replaces Luke Lavin in the 9 spot and the lineup card. The third pinch hitter used today by the Kettleers, who have seen an influx of position players join the roster. A lot of guys who have been seeing time throughout the season. Case Sanderson has appeared so far in 24 of Cotuit's 28 games. The first pitch from the righty, Feasier, outside. 92 miles per hour from Feasier, the incoming Kansas State Wildcat. The pitch. Upstairs. Sanderson takes. Count will even. Count now runs to 2 balls and no strikes. 1 out, top of the 8th.
I like the pinch hit of Sanderson here. He's a guy who is a very patient hitter, knows when to take his walks.
The pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. Count now 2-1. Ket's trailing Harwich 2-1 in the visiting half of the 8th inning. Dark skies, not quite pitch black, but sunlight fading fast. 8:30 local time. The 2-1. In at the knees, called strike 2. Dark silhouettes of trees surrounding the outfield. The chain link fence running from foul pole to foul pole. Plenty of fans nestled out there. The 2-2, up and away. Count will run full. There are some advertisement banners hanging, but fans in lawn chairs seated in between those, able to peer through. A good view from the outfield. Payoff pitch with 1 out on its way. Swung on and chopped foul to the screen. Sanderson able to catch a piece of that pitch that was breaking low and in on him. Count will stay full. The Harwich infield shaded to their lefts heavily. The first baseman, Kyle Wolf, is pretty much playing even with the foul line behind first base. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and fouled, out of play. Nick Melton, Cotuit's first base coach, having a conversation with the first baseman, Kyle Wolf. They're both even, about 10 or so feet beyond first base. Cohen Feasier on the mound gets his sign, checking his pitch comm device on his front left wrist. The righty delivers the 3-2. Swung on and fouled towards the Cotuit first base dugout. Case Sanderson doing a good job to stay alive. He's also upping the pitch count of Cohen Feasier, who demonstrated the ability to go further than just 1 inning of work in his first appearance of the season. But you're hoping you only need to see him for 1 inning if you're Cotuit. Here's the 3-2 with 1 out, no one on. The pitch. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. 93-mile-per-hour fastball. It doesn't matter the pitch, but Sanderson's fighting it off.
He's up to 9 pitches in this at-bat. Pitch 10 incoming. He's been fouling off pitch after pitch. That was the 4th straight. And that's exactly why you bring him in. He's a tough out. Hasn't had the best stats, but he knows how to work a walk and to work a pitcher.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss. On a breaking ball, low and in. Feasier wins the 10-pitch at-bat, where Case Sanderson was able to foul off a total of 5 pitches. 2 outs now on the scoreboard. Cotuit still trailing Harwich 2-1 here in the visiting half of the 8th inning. Bright orange lights illuminating on the scoreboard out in right field. The batter is the leadoff man, Caden Bogenpole, still searching for his first base hit of the day. He takes a pitch low and in, nearly at the toes of his cleats. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, no one aboard for Cotuit, trailing by 1. Here's the pitch from Feasier. And there, a strike. Caught the bottom part of the zone at the knees of the 6'6" Caden Bogenpole. Bogenpole has been busy today in center field. Plenty of fly balls hit his way. The 1-1. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. Count will go to 1-2 with 2 outs. Bogenpole takes a moment to recollect himself out of the batter's box. The Kets have been quieted in the batting department the past 2 games, but overall the past week has been good to them. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and chopped foul to the backstop. Count stays put at 1-2. In the last 5 games, the Kets are hitting with a slash line of 277, 365, and 329. The 277 average is first in the Cape League in that time frame. Same with the on-base percentage. The 1-2. Upstairs. Count evens at 2-2. The Kets get on base at a great clip. They lead the Cape League in hits on the season and are second in the Cape League in walks on the season. Hitting for power has been a bit of a problem. The 2-2. Inside. Brushes past the belt of Bogenpole. Got away from the catcher Conti. Count will run full. The Kets slugging .329 in the last 5 games. That's 7th in the Cape League. A steep drop from the mountaintop where they sit in the average and on-base departments. Here's the payoff pitch. Bogenpole takes ball 4. A breaking ball down by his knees. A full count walk issued by Cohen Feasier.
It was a gutsy one, too. A lot of close takes on Bogenpole's end, and he's had a hard time getting hits, so, hey, why not go work a walk and get your hottest hitter the bat?
Camden Johnson now up for Cotuit. He is 3 for 3 today. A triple and a pair of singles. He came around to score the Kets' only run in the first inning. Home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel tells Camden Johnson to make eye contact with the pitcher Cohen Feasier. Bogenpole on first base. Johnson is the batter. 2 outs, top of the 8th. Kets trailing 2-1. The first pitch. Swung on, fouled off Camden Johnson's front leg, and he's in pain. He skips about halfway down the first base line, hobbling and not putting a whole lot of weight on his left foot. I'll check that it's his right foot. It being the front foot in the left-handed batter's box. He'll be talked to by the Cotuit trainers. Nick Melton and Lauren Hibbs out there to supervise. Johnson in a lot of pain as he's being tended to. It was a hard foul ball off his right foot. He's being tended to about 20 feet or so outside of home plate near the Cotuit dugout. Kets training staff finding out where it hurts and more so giving Johnson time to take a breath and recollect himself. Johnson will take a quick jog to make sure he's okay.
And that hit him square in the shin. That takes some, well, cojones to get back in the game after that. That is not easy. We saw him double over a couple of times trying to regain his balance. And, man, he's going to get back in the box. That is very impressive.
Johnson will step into the left-handed batter's box with applause from both the Harwich and Cotuit fans in attendance. There's been plenty of them that have stuck around in this game. Some more open seating than when we started, but it's been a well-attended crowd here in this matchup between the Kets and the Mariners. Johnson, after a deep breath, he digs back in. No balls and a strike, the count to him. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Kets trailing by 1. The pitch from Feaser on its way. A breaking ball low and in. Count will even at 1 apiece. Bogenpole on first base. He reached via a walk. He takes a 2-stride lead at first. Harwich infield playing shallow and shaded to their lefts. The pitch. Fastball sails upstairs. Count now 2-1 on Johnson. Camden is 3 for 3 today. He came into this game hitting .281. He's bumped his average up, creeping closer to 300. Now 30 hits on the season. Here's the 2-1. Upstairs again. 3 balls, 1 strike, the count to Camden Johnson. 2 outs. The tying run on first base for Cotuit. Score is 2-1. Cotuit's lone runs scored in the top of the first inning. Nearly 2 hours ago. 8:40 local time. Feaser set at the belt. 3-1. Catches the corner. Count now 3-2. Feaser working a little different now that there's a runner on base. He's towing the third base side of the slab up on the mound. Comes set at the belt, his front left leg extended without a bend in the knee. The payoff pitch. Swung on ground ball right side. Gloved by DiCarlo, ranging to his left and throws to first in time to retire the speedy Johnson. Kettleers strand a runner on base. Will head to the bottom of the 8th. Kets still trailing 2-1 on the Kettleers digital network.
Hey, it's Chris, and when I'm looking for a cold treat, I go to 4 Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference.
Hi, I'm Connor Shue. Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 681 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
The Kettleer Interns and the very popular t-shirt toss are brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Tyler Albanese remains out on the bump. This will be his 3rd inning of work. He's worked a pair of 1-2-3 innings, the first of which a little unorthodox. He was aided by a pickoff attempt, and then in his 2nd inning of work, worked through a leadoff single, induced a double play ground ball, and then got Kyle Wolf to fly out to Caden Bogenpole in center field. He'll be facing 8-9-1. Trey Wells, the designated hitter, Sam DiCarlo, and Tanner Marsh, the tall right-handed hitting designated hitter. We'll dig in, but before a first pitch can be offered, time is called, as the first base umpire, Mickey Garcia, saw something of note. And now we're all set. Albanese gets the okay out on the mound. The righty ready to deliver the first pitch to Trey Wells. Swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. Last day of play before the All-Star game here on Cape. teams getting ready to send their best. The 0-1. Swung on line drive, right center field, and it's down right in front of Stevens. One hops to him. He'll get it in quickly to keep Trey Wells at first. The first hit of the day for the designated hitter.
And it's interesting because Albanese has allowed a hit in each frame so far, but he's managed to get out 1, 2, 3 with some commotion on the bases. So we'll see if that happens, but he's going to have to get it off a pinch runner.
Number 5, Jake Coonan.
Jake Coonan, the Princeton Tiger who just wrapped up his season in the Ivy League, pinch running for Trey Wells. Coonan, a familiar name. He's been with the Mariners from the start of this season. The batter, Sam DiCarlo, digs in. Pickoff attempt back to first, not in time.
Coonan actually hit in the 9-hole in the first game between these two teams, worked a couple of walks.
Time called as the third base coach for Harwich will come in to talk things over with Sam DiCarlo. Looking around the Cape League, plenty of action. Hyannis taking on Falmouth in a Western Division matchup. The Harbor Hawks leading 6-5 over the Commodores. That game in the bottom of the 8th. Bourne leading Wareham 9-5. That game also in the bottom of the 8th. Wareham currently atop the Western Division. YD over Orleans 4-2. That game in the bottom of the 7th. The first offering, runner goes. It's a strike throw down to second, and they got Jake Coonan. A great throw from the catcher, Luke Lavin. Retires Jake Coonan at second base.
So 3 base runners, all 3 retired on base during Albanese's time out there.
So Taggart Tyson now catching after the slew of pinch hitters. So Tyson now behind the dish, and he had an absolute seed down to second, the 1-0. Breaking ball in there, a strike. Count evens at 1-1. The batter, Sam DiCarlo, he is 1 for 2 today. The 1-1. In there, a strike. Count now 1-2. So as the leadoff batter now retired again, Albanese attempting to work another 1-2-3 inning in an unorthodox way. Count is 1-2 with 1 out on DiCarlo. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. On a pitch low and away. Tyler Albanese's second strikeout of the game. His first since retiring the first batter he faced with a punch-out.
That was when he got Dean Kennedy looking back in the 6th and comes back around to get Sam DiCarlo at the bottom of the order. So he's still looking strong 2 2/3 through.
Leadoff man Tanner Marsh digs in. The righty is 0 for 3 today. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. The pitch, a fastball strike. Harwich up 2-1 over the Kettleers. Albanese trying to give the Kets a chance to even things up in the top of the 9th. The 0-1 skips in there. A ball, count now even at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Kets infield playing at normal depth. Middle infield a little deep. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs. Two and one, the pitch. And there, a strike. Caught the bottom part of the zone. Count evens at 2-2. Albanese has done a good job of becoming a lengthy middle reliever. He asked for a new sign from the catcher, Taggart Tyson. He has it. He's set at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Popped up foul and over the screen, out of play. Count will stay put at 2-2 with 2 outs, home half of the 8th. Harwich with a 2-1 lead over Cotuit. Bright lights illuminating the diamond here at White House Field. Albanese rocks, now comes set, the 2-2. Inside. Count will now run full. Payoff pitch on its way to Tanner Marsh. Called strike 3. A breaking ball in the top of the zone. Tyler Albanese's 3rd strikeout of the evening. Another 1-2-3 inning worked by Big Al. We'll head
Lunch and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Last chance for the Cotuit Kettleers, who trail Harwich 2-1. Top of the 9th at White House Field. There's a new pitcher on the mound for the Mariners, looking to close the door. It's Cooper Harrington, who has been having a lights-out summer for Harwich. The 6-foot flat, 165 righty. Just wrapped up his year at Liberty University. This will be his 7th appearance of the summer. Harrington currently sitting at a 1.04 ERA. He's allowed 1 earned run in 8 2/3 innings of work. 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. His first offering. Inside. The batter is Jack Natilli, the designated hitter for the Kettleers. Ryan Farber on deck. Luke Matthews to follow. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Low. Ball 2. Harrington on the mound comes set with his gray glove, covering his mouth. Sets up high. Works quick, the 2-0. Catches the bottom part of the zone. Count now 2-1. No one out top of the 9th. Cats trailing by 1. Infield playing deep. The corners are pinched towards the line. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Another strike called. That one at the shins of Jack Natilli. Count evens at 2-2 on a couple of pitches low to Jack Natilli. Cooper Harrington takes a breath. The righty kicks and deals. Inside, that catches the hands of Jack Natilli. He'll take a breather outside of the batter's box. Natilli hit for now the 10th time this season. He has been plunked more than any other Kettleer.
Yeah, he's been snake bitten this season. He's down to a knee right now. We've seen him get hit in the wrist and hand a couple of times already this season, so you hate to see that.
Well, he was stung in and at the hands against Bourne earlier this season. He fought through it to stay in the game. Natilli, a designated hitter today. He is in a lot of pain. He's down on one knee in the grass just outside the dirt around home plate. He's getting tended to by the training staff. Kevin Frady and Lauren Hibbs out there to keep a watchful eye on him. Caitlin Victor and Eric McGovern, the two trainers for the Kettleers this season, they've been kept busy by Jack Natilli, not by his own choice. It seems he gets plunked at the minimum twice, maybe even 3 times a week.
It really feels like he does, and you can tell it's kind of wearing on him. And this I feel like this is like the 4th time we've seen him get hit in his hand, and it's just a stroke of bad luck again and again. And he's still out there on the left side, out of the right-handed batter's box, still getting tended to by trainers, and I think he might be on his way back to the dugout.
It's not like Jack Natilli crowds the plate or anything, but he's rightful to be upset. He just continues to get hit by pitches. He's walking without a batting helmet towards the dugout, looking like we'll see a pinch runner for him.
I don't know who's left on the bench, though. They've already pinch hit 3 guys, so who's the 4th?
Well, we've got a pinch runner. Still waiting to get an ID. You know, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a relief pitcher or an arm that's not being seen.
I think that's Ryan Buckler.
Ryan Buckler, the now 2-time Kettleer, a relief pitcher turned starting pitcher, is donning a deep blue batting helmet as he stands on first base, being called upon to pinch run for the designated hitter, Jack Natilli. The batter is Ryan Farber. The first pitch to him, Farber takes a strike at the belt. Farber hitting from the left-handed batter's box against the righty relief pitcher Cooper Harrington. Harrington worked himself into a 2-2 count against Natilli before plunking him. The 0-1 in there, another strike. Count is now 0-2 on Ryan Farber. Farber today, he is 1 for 3. A single, a strikeout, and a flyout. 0-2 the count on Farber. The pitch, low and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No one out in the top of the 9th. The Kets trail the Mariners 2-1 in a game that saw all runs scored in the first 2 innings. Since then, it's been a lot of zeros on the scoreboard. Harrington delivers. Swung on the ground right side. Gloved the throw to second in time. There won't be a throw to first. DeCarlo goes to second to retire the lead man. Ryan Buckler will trot back to the dugout after a brief stint as a pinch runner. One away.
Can only imagine if there's a situation where this game comes back around to Natilli's spot in the order and Buckler has to hit. Could be something.
I suddenly have an increased desire to see this game go to extra innings. 1 away, top of the 9th. Kets trailing by 1. The batter is Luke Matthews. The pitch, outside. Farber on first after reaching via a fielder's choice. 4-6 on the ground out. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch swung on and popped foul down the right field line and out of play. Matthews is 0 for 1 today. He struck out in his first plate appearance. He's been walked 2 times since. Matthews has been an RBI machine for the Kettleers this season. Back pick to first. It was close. Farber back safely with a dive. Matthews on the season, 11 ribbies, tied for third on the team, trailing only Jack Natilli and Ryan Farber. 1-1 the count with one out. That pitch is upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ryan Farber, the tying run on first base. Harwich holding on desperately to a 2-1 lead. Matthews ready. Harrington delivers. Swung on and popped up foul over the back screen. Count evens at 2-2. Infield playing at double play depth. The first baseman, Kyle Wolf, playing on the bag, keeping Ryan Farber honest. Harwich has had some dazzling displays of defense on the infield today. Count is 2-2. The pitch. Swung on, soft shot, fouled, and caught in foul ground by Kyle Wolf, a couple steps away from Cotuit's first base dugout. Just a soft shot off the bat of Luke Matthews. Stayed up in the air long enough.
The right fielder from Texas, number 21.
I'd like to use this moment to say that this is a broadcast that is under copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited. The batter is Easton Winfield, who pinch hit for Dean West in the 7th inning. The first offering to the lefty Winfield. He takes up and away, ball 1. Winfield worked a walk in his lone plate appearance. This will be his first time facing Cooper Harrington. Ryan Farber remains on first base. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. The pitch. Called a strike. Inside on Easton Winfield. Ketts trailing by 1 run. The tying run on first base. The go-ahead run up to bat in the form of Easton Winfield. Harrington set at his chest, the 1-1. Wave and a miss. Winfield behind that 90-mile-per-hour fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Cotuit trailing 2-1. Harrington 1 strike away from getting win number 13 for the Harwich Mariners. Here's the pitch. Swung on soft chopper towards the mound. Harrington gloves it, takes a couple steps, underhand toss to first to end things here at White House Field. The Mariners beat the Kettleers 2-1. Cotuit 1 run on 4 hits with 1 error. Harwich 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Game wraps up at 9:03 local time. Just about 2.5 hours of game time here. An Eastern Western Division matched up. Cotuit will head into the All-Star break on a 3-game skid. Kettleers red hot to start things here in the month of July, have cooled off, looking to get the bats hot sometime soon.
Certainly are. That wasn't the best display of offense we've seen from them, and it's kind of been that way for the past 2 games. Only 1 run scored in this one, only 2 yesterday. And it's been troublesome to see them try to put together late inning rallies. We've seen the starts of things that they seem to have a knack for getting that leadoff base runner on in the 8th or 9th inning, whatever it may be, and they did just that in the 9th here, but they just couldn't get anything going after, and I guess it's been a trouble of getting consistent hitting in the late parts of the ball game. We've seen this team be clutch before in the season, but today was not one of those days.
Cotuit's lone run came in the top of the 1st. It was a ground ball from Jack Natilli, ended up retiring him, but Camden Johnson, who reached third after a triple, able to prance in and score. Without that extra base hit from Camden Johnson, the Kettleers would have a plethora of singles. The 3 other hits the Kets had, all singles. In fact, Camden Johnson accounted for 3 of the 4 Kettleers hits today. So without Camden Johnson, the Kets offense would be extremely quiet.
It sure would. He had an incredible day at the plate, and you have to appreciate his effort, especially in the later innings of the game when he came up to bat in the 8th and he fouled one straight into his shin, and he was able to return to the game and basically just gut that one out. And all due respect to him for that and the game he had, but again, it's just tough when you only have one source of offense. Cam Johnson has been on fire lately, but it seems like the rest of this lineup has failed to pick him up the whole way. You see a lot of guys who are really good players on this team, front to back. I mean, Caden Bogenpole is a guy who is probably going to get picked very, very high in the draft next year, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked for him so far at the Cape League level. Jack Natilli has unfortunately kind of entered a big free fall since his really hot start to July. Ryan Farber he still gets you a hit every day, but he's been a little cold lately. Luke Matthews couldn't get a hit today after a really nice stretch there. But overall, this team just, again, it's trouble putting things together consistently, and we didn't see that today. And all you can really do is hope they get right over the All-Star break and the offense is humming afterwards.
Kets will have 2 days off for the All-Star break, aside from the 3 Kettleers who are playing in that mid-season classic, that game being held at YD's Red Wilson Field on the campus of DY High School tomorrow at 6 o'clock local time. It will feature Peyton Manka, Ryan Farber, and Jack Natilli for the Kettleers. Jaron Advincula got the All-Star nod, but has since left Cape and will not appear, but he does get that All-Star selection. As for the rest of the Kettleers, plenty of time to just recollect on what has been a cold stretch. No other way to cut it. The Kettleers in the last 3 games have scored a total of 8 runs. 5 against YD, 2 last night against Wareham, and 1 today against Harwich. Eerily similar to how the Kets were starting this season.
It feels like, well, you can't say they've run out of bullets, but it feels like all the offense was just used up in the middle part of this season, and things are starting to go awry. But I feel like with how rough the hitting has been for Cotuit, I think we should focus on what's been good on their end, at least for a little bit here. The pitching has been pretty incredible, and we saw Max Haug and Tyler Albanese put together a great showing. Haug, 1 earned through 5 innings of work, didn't walk anybody. And Tyler Albanese, another great long relief appearance. 3 innings, gutted through some early trouble on the base paths, picked off a runner, and overall put together a really solid performance in long relief, his 2nd straight appearance going 3 to 4 innings. So you have to tip your cap to their effort in this one.
Well, Albanese has been stepping up in a massive way, being called upon from the bullpen in non-closing situations, and he's made the most of it. 7 innings of work in his last 2 appearances, all just taking a big chunk of the game out of the hands from other relievers, and that's keeping some arms fresh. And the rest of the Kets staff will be able to take these 2 days of rest to recuperate. We're getting close towards the end of the season. This was game 28 for the Kettleers, who dropped to 11-15-2. Just 11 more games to go before we hit playoff time here in the Cape League. And for Cotuit, you're watching the rest of the Western Division closely, as it's anyone's game right now. The Kets are less than 6 points away from jumping to the top spot, and less than 2 points away from climbing up from the cellar. So it's still anyone's division.
It sure is, and despite a loss here, you're still, like you said, only a few points behind playoff contention. So you can't hang your head now if you're Cotuit. And it's just a bump in the road, a little 3-game slump, but there's certainly good baseball ahead. And we saw them climb out of a slump like this in the middle of the season, and I think they have the firepower and overall talent offensively to make it happen. And you see teams ebb and flow like this all the time. That's just the sport of baseball in general, and especially in a setting that's as volatile as summer ball, where you could say anything could happen on any given day. These are a lot of guys who just don't play together all the time and are not used to these environments all the time. So things happen, things change, and anything can happen again. I mean, heck, we could blink in a week. Cotuit could be in first place with how close things are in this West Division.
Again, Cats drop a close one to Harwich. The Mariners win 2-1 in this Western Eastern Division matchup. Connor Shue, any final thoughts?
I think the Cats got more good baseball in them. It was a great pitcher's duel. Cats on the hill, doing well as usual. We'll see if the bats can follow, and I think they will.
All-Star Weekend here on Cape. We'll enjoy our 2 days off before we return for the final fourth of the season. Plenty to play for and plenty to look forward to. For Sorka Lewis, our director, for the third member of our team, Brooke Kilgore, for my better half, Connor Shue, and for me, Chris Albright, we're saying goodnight from White House Field on the Kettleers Digital Network.